Have you ever made a small mistake that turned into one of your greatest lessons? Well, I have, and trust me, it was one of the most stressful yet eye-opening weeks of my career. A few years ago, I was working at a marketing digital agency. Back then, I managed several campaigns for different real estate clients. My days were full of numbers, segment ads, and budgets. The usual routine for someone running meta ads. Among all those clients, there were two in particular. Let's call them Real Estate A and Real Estate B. All right. Real Estate E has a solid budget around 200 soles per day. They were a well-established company with bills, goals, and a solid sales that behind them. Real Estate B, on the other hand, was a small client. Their totally monthly um, budget was just uh, 750 soles. Simple, right? Two different clients, two separate ad accounts, two clear budgets. Until one day, in the middle of setting up new campaigns, I made a huge mistake. Yes, without realizing it, I switched their budgets. I accidentally placed the 200 salad per day budget meant for the big client into the small client's campaign. Basically, a campaign that was supposed to spend uh, 70 and 50 soles in a month, that much every 3 days. And Meta, as you can imagine, didn't waste any time. The algorithm started spending aggressively, optimizing fast, scaling quickly, delivering leads like crazy. At first, I didn't notice. Everything looked great. The metrics were perfect: low cost per lead, high CTR, conversions coming in non-stop until I checked the total spend and my heart literally just froze. And the small client's account had burned through away more money than it should have. And that's when the chaos, the chaos started. I had to contact Facebook support immediately, trying to explain what happened. That it was a human error, a mix-up between two accounts from the same niche. But if you ever deal with Meta support, you know how tough it can be to get a full refund. It took me for almost a full week of back and forth emails for an explanation before they agreed to partially adjust the charge. But meanwhile, I had to face the hardest part, telling the client, and that right here was the real test. How do you tell a client that their campaigns paid well more than planned and still keep their trust? I decided to go all in on honesty. I told him exactly what what had happened, that we were working with Facebook to fix it, and that supposedly the results had been outstanding. And here's where things get interesting. That mistake turned out to be one of the most successful campaigns we ever ran. With that extra budget, the campaign generated three property sales for the client. Yes, three property sales. He not only recovered his investment but actually made a profit. We did up as a ROAS of around 3.5, uh, yes, average, a cost per list between 2 and 250 soles, and about 150 to 200 qualified leads in just 1 month. In other words, what started as a budgeting disaster became an unexpected success story. And that experience taught me something powerful. Sometimes mistakes reveal the real potential of your strategy. Because yes, money matters, very much. Uh, but what really drives performance is the structure and intelligence behind the campaign. In this case, the strategy worked because we had a lead generation campaign using instant forms, simple, direct, and effective. Same, semi, semi-detailed segmentation, leaving enough room for Meta's algorithm to learn and optimize strong visuals, real-estate creative that actually connected emotionally, and continuous optimization and analyzing data daily, testing what worked and improving fast. After that whole mess was finally resolved, I took a few days to reflect. Hmm, I realized that in digital marketing, mistakes are part of the process. They test your patience, your communication skills, and your professionalism. When I returned to managing the bigger client, the one with the real 200 soles per day budget, I applied everything I learned from that experience. I focused more on emotional targeting, improved storytelling, built fully optimized landing pages, and tracked every step of the funnel with precision. And guess what? Yes, the result got even better. But beyond the metrics, what truly changed was my mindset. I became more uh, careful, more analytical, and more humble. Now I double check everything, every campaign, every budget, every ad set, because even one small oversight can turn into a very uh, expensive lesson. Yes, very expensive. At the end of the day, this story is not really about a mistake. It is about transformation. It's about learning that not every failure is a setback. Sometimes it's the sport that forces you to grow faster than you expect. Um, Looking back now, I can actually laugh about it. That week was pure chaos, but it also shaped me into a better marketer. So, if you ever mess up in a campaign, remember this. Or in the life, remember this. Not every mistake is a loss. Sometimes it's the part you need to see your strategy and yourself from a new perspective. Well, uh, this is my this is one of my cases, and this was a true story from the behind the scene world of digital campaigns. Because not everything that shines in marketing comes from success. Sometimes it starts with a really cute mistake.